Today's lesson is adding and subtracting fractions. So the question we have to ask ourselves when we're adding and subtracting fractions is, are the denominators the same? If the answer is yes, then our problem will look like this. We'll have some combination of fractions, but our denominators will always be the same. When this happens, all we have to do is add or subtract the numerators. So we'll have 1 plus 2. And then the common denominator remains the same. So we just leave the 5. And then our final answer is 3/5. So when the answer is no, there's an extra step in here before we can do this part. And what we're going to have to do is find a common denominator. And in order to do that, we'll have to multiply, and we'll have to find the least common multiple of the two numbers in the denominator. You guys have done least common multiple before, so this is just adding two things that you already know how to do into figuring out these problems. So let's do an example. Let's say we have 5/8, and then we'll do plus 1/3. So our denominators aren't the same. So our first step is to find the least common multiple of the denominators. In this case, the least common multiple of 8 and 3 is 24. Now we want to get our denominators to be 24, so we're going to use multiplication to get there. So for this fraction, we're going to have to multiply 8 by 3 in order to get it to equal 24. But we can't just stop here. This has made the fraction unbalanced. So in order to fix it, we have to multiply the top also by 3. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top, or the reverse. So then, for the 1/3, we have to multiply by 8. So we do 8 to the numerator and the denominator. This is a little messy, so let's rewrite it. We'll have 15 over 24 plus 8 over 24. Now we have a fraction just like one of these problems above, where both the denominators are the same. This is what we wanted. Now all we have to do is follow the steps for this problem, which is you add the two numerators, you get 23, and the denominator just gets moved over. So our final answer is 23 over 24. So let's do an example with subtraction. Let's take 5/8 minus 1/4. So the denominators aren't the same, so we have to find the least common multiple of the two numbers in the denominator. So our least common multiple in this case is going to be 8. So our next step is to multiply in order to get the denominators to equal 8. In this case, our 5/8 already has an 8 in the denominator, so we don't have to do anything to this fraction. So we'll just go ahead and rewrite it down here. Now the 1/4, we're going to have to multiply by 2 in order to get the denominator to equal 8. So then we'll have 5/8 minus 2/8. Now we have a problem we know how to do. We subtract the top, so we'll have 3 over 8, and we're done. Okay, so we've done an example of addition and of subtraction. I'm going to do 2 more examples, and I'll write them on the board here, but if you want to just pause the video after I write these and try them yourself, then you can watch the video and make sure that you did them correctly, or if you're still a little iffy, then just continue watching. We're going to do 2/11 plus 1/2 and then we're going to do 13/14 minus 3/7. Okay, so we have two fractions we're adding. They don't have the same denominator. We got to find the least common multiple. Our least common multiple in this case is going to equal 22. So we're going to use multiplication. So the 11 we'll have to multiply by 2, but we have to do the same thing to the top that we do to the bottom. Over here, we're going to multiply the denominator by 11 and the top. So let's rewrite it to make it a little cleaner. We'll have 4/20 over 22 plus 11 over 22. So then our final answer will be 15 over 22. Now we'll do the subtraction problem. 13/14 minus 3/7. The denominators aren't the same. We need to get a common denominator, and to do that we'll use the least common multiple. So our least common multiple in this case is equal to 14. Our first fraction, we already have 14 in the denominator, so we don't touch this one. And the 7, we need to multiply by 2, and we have to do that to the numerator as well to keep it equal. Then we'll rewrite it. So we'll have 13/14 minus 6/14. So our final answer will be 13 minus 6, 7 over 14. But we can't forget to simplify here, so we'll actually have 1/2. Okay, that's adding and subtracting fractions.